What's the best bike for exploring hidden trails, overgrown fire roads, and new routes through your city? Is it a gravel bike? Is it a hardtail mountain bike? Or is it something in the middle? David Rosen of Sage Titantium Bikes thinks like he's come up with the answer. And it turns out that it's a hybrid of both a gravel bike and a cross-country mountain bike. Although the Portland-based bicycle brand sells both gravel bike models as well as cross-country mountain bikes, the bike he reaches for the most these days is the bike he created for himself. It's called the Dropinator, a monster gravel bike designed for the extreme side of gravel bike terrain and competition. It's designed for endurance events like the Leadville 100, and depending on who you ask, it's either a monster gravel bike or a dropbar mountain bike. Equipped with a 100mm RockShox SID fork, a wireless dropper post, and XC MTB tires, it's easy to argue that it leans towards mountain bike territory. But Rosen didn't just slap a pair of drop bars on and call it a day. This frame was purpose-built for drop bars from the start. The Dropinator's geometry started with the Sage Titantium, an XC-raced hardtail. And that means dedicated to XC racing. Its fit was based on the Storm King GP gravel race bike, again, another dedicated race bike. The result is a hybrid that lands squarely in this growing gray area between gravel and cross-country mountain bike racing. And after spending some time riding it, I have to say, Rosen might be onto something. I've been on a quest for the perfect Portland bike for years. Something I ride straight from my door and hit everything. Over the course of a week, I rode the Dropinator through all of it. Dirt and gravel paths in Gresham, Pal Butte single track, long paved stretches on the east side, and even some cross-country trails near Rocky Point. The verdict? It's a sweet ride that turns heads, and the ride quality absolutely delivers. The 29 by 2.25 XC tires were fast enough off-road, but they definitely rolled slow on pavement. Definitely slower than my usual gravel setup, which is a fast-rolling pavement tire that has some side knobs. Something like the Kenda Crusher gravel tires I've recently been testing might have been a better match for mixed surface rides. Still, the build of this bike was top-notch, and seriously clean. With just two cables, front and rear brake lines, the wireless shifting and dropper post kept that cockpit feel clean and minimal. All the shifting, braking, and dropper control happens with your fingers while you're staying on the hoods or drops. It's also my first time running the RockShox SID with flight attendant, and all I have to say is, wow. Thing is nice. It automatically locks out electronically, adapting to the terrain. I don't actually know how it decides to open or close and activate that compression damping, but I can tell you that it works, and it's pretty awesome. No cables, no switches, just ride. And yeah, you do have to charge another battery, but that performance might just make it worth it. The Dropinator's fit was built around David Rosen's race-oriented preferences. Think head down, pedal hard, really aggressive positioning. For me, it's a bit more than I prefer these days. I'll admit it. I lean towards comfort-first setups for endurance riding. That said, a small tweak like raising the front end a centimeter or two and maybe swapping to shallower drop bars may be nailed for my riding style. If you look up bikes that are used for lead build these days, you'll find there's a mix of XC hardtails and full suspension bikes. Many of these are equipped with drop bars for that aerodynamic advantage. The Dropinator was purpose-built for that exact kind of rider, so in chasing performance and efficiency for long, hard, rugged miles, and definitely with an eye for competition. Personally, I realized I'm not much of an underbiking with drop bars kind of guy. After a few close calls on XC trails, I stuck to gravel, pavement, and smoother single track. A bike like this really shines on those surfaces, but on tight, twisty trails, I found myself holding back compared to my XC hardtail. I just realized I still need to come up with an answer. Is this thing a monster gravel bike or a drop bar mountain bike? And well, that RockShox SID suspension fork with 100mm of travel does make a strong argument. But what if you were to swap the SID out with a rigid mountain bike footage with a similar axle to the crown? Is it the mountain bike suspension that's the differentiator? I can tell you one thing. After riding this bike with a wireless dropper post, it was way more fun than my personal gravel bike with its rigid post. I actually have zero interest in riding my personal gravel bike on anything but the most moderate terrain. So maybe the best answer is it's both. A drop bar mountain bike that borrows just enough from gravel design to stay fast and versatile when the terrain turns mixed. It's clearly a bike that doesn't fit neatly into one box, and that's kind of what makes it unique. In my quest to find that perfect Portland bike, my garage has essentially become a test lab, from gravel bikes to XC hardtails to rigid MTB conversions. And the more I explore that mix of pavement, gravel, and elusive bits of single track, the more I realize my ideal bike doesn't actually fit into one category. The Dropinator, or Dropbarinator, as I like to call it, comes quite close. It blurs the lines with intention, capability, and titanium. That ride feel of titanium. It's definitely not for everyone, especially considering a frame set starts at $6,000 and full builds top or $10K. It's definitely in dream bike territory. Of course, a bike like the Dropinator isn't even on the menu for Sage. It is a full custom bike. But for those chasing that forever bike, that one machine to do it all, the Dropinator does make a convincing case. And if you buy a bike from Sage Titantium, you're not just buying a frame, you're investing in that whole custom experience. Geometry, component spec, fit, it's all dialed in for you. This isn't your first bike. This is for the guy who's had many bikes. And if that's you, and you love that ride of titanium, you might just want to give these guys a call. For most of us, that level of craftsmanship might be out of reach. But it's hard not to admire what they're doing here. After a week on the Dropinator, I can say this. It definitely made me rethink what my perfect Portland bike could look like. If you enjoyed this review, give it a thumbs up, hit subscribe, and maybe stay tuned.